What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and there are people out there that want to claim cancel culture doesn't exist just because not everyone that they disagree with has been fired or is destitute yet. But at the same time, those very people are the ones that every time someone they do disagree with gets one single role, they're out there on Twitter trying to get them fired, trying to get them canceled, bringing up things that happened over a decade ago, despite that person's best intentions to make amends. And today, that target for these people, for the woke mob, happened to be Mel Gibson. And here's a little headline. It's from We Got This Covered. I really just wanted the headline. Mel Gibson is trending, and Twitter can't believe he's not canceled. And every single time Mel Gibson gets a role, which he has not had many of the past decade, I think the first real time that we saw this in the past couple years was with Fat Man. When he got announced as the lead in Fat Man, the internet absolutely went crazy, and they were so mad that someone who's essentially been ostracized from Hollywood for years actually got a role. And then we saw the same thing when he got cast in that John Wick prequel, and now with another movie, the woke mob is at it again. And it just shows that there is no amount of atoning you can do. There's no amount of apologies, nothing. There's nothing you can do. Once the cancel culture mob, once the woke mob has you in their sights, they will come after you until you are gone, until you are canceled, until you are dead in a gutter, because that ultimately is truly the goal. And it started with this tweet right here from David Henry. It says, incredibly blessed to be directing such talented people. I've been a Lorraine Bracco fan for such a long time. As a second generation Italian, I grew up on Goodfellas and Sopranos. And it links back to this article here from Deadline. Boys of Summer, Lorraine Bracco, Nora Zehetner, and more board family adventure pick, top line by Mel Gibson and Mason Thames. So Mel Gibson had been cast for this, had been cast for quite some time. The article is really not about him at all. It's about these new people that have been cast in the movie. But when you look at the replies for David Henry, you can just see the tweet's been ratioed. You got 178 likes to 469 replies. And what is everyone saying? Exactly what you'd expect. Respectfully, why are you in the studio okay with Mel Gibson being in this movie? Genuinely trying to understand how that is now acceptable again. Sorry, any involvement by Mel Gibson is automatic no for me, no matter what the project is. You might need to retroactively prepare for the blowback against a collaboration with this actor. Perhaps you should have anticipated the ratios here. And when the film's released, when you signed on, not an outlier take. I don't watch things with Mel Gibson in them, so I'll pass. Blessed to be working with Mel Gibson, that's sick. Mel Gibson, yikes. Nope, Mel Gibson has not redeemed himself. He's not changed based on his behavior this last year. And really all we need to do to talk about what Mel Gibson has done in the past and why these people are still so upset is go to this article that I wrote on geeksandgamers.com on October 9th, 2020. And it was in response to Mel Gibson being cast in the trailer for Fat Man. And I'm just gonna read a little bit of this. After the incredibly well-received trailer for the new movie Fat Man, Mel Gibson was trending on Twitter, not for his portrayal of the down-on-his-luck angry Santa Claus, but for the words he drunkenly uttered over a decade ago. Because for some of the insane SJW cancel mob, no amount of time is enough, no apology is enough, and no amount of effort can ever let you atone for your mistakes. 14 years ago, at this point, I guess we can maybe add about 2 years, so 16 years ago, Mel Gibson was pulled over for a DUI in California, but that isn't what people are mad about. Records of his encounter with police revealed that while drunk, he used racist and anti-Semitic language towards one of the officers. After the fallout, Gibson issued several apologies, including directly to the Jewish community through the Anti-Defamation League. He went to different Jewish leaders and talked to them and did everything he could to apologize. But that is not enough, because here we are in 2022. This happened in 2006. Now here we are in 2022, and the same people are upset that he's getting cast in a few movies. These are the people that want you to believe that cancel culture is not real. The same people that are spamming replies right now. You know why cancel culture is a thing despite your best efforts to convince people that it's not? Because one person is getting one role, so you say cancel culture doesn't exist? Imagine how many roles Mel Gibson has got passed over for because people realize this is what will happen when they cast him. This is how the woke mob will react if they cast Mel Gibson. That's something that these absolute fucking idiots don't even consider when they make their arguments that cancel culture doesn't exist. And of course, that's not all that has happened in Mel Gibson's history. Of course, again, over a decade ago, when he was going through a very messy split with his wife, recordings leaked of him saying some pretty vile things to her. But again, no amount of apology, no amount of atonement matters to these people. Look at some of this stuff. Mel Gibson's trending again, so that gives me a chance to tell him and everyone that lets him continue making movies to go fuck themselves. Why does Hollywood continue to cast an anti-Semitic racist pig like Mel Gibson? It's disgraceful. Just your nightly reminder that Mel Gibson is an anti-Semite who should not be cast in any movies. Seriously, there are so many other Australian males we could cast instead. Australian males who don't hate Jews, POC, women, or gay people. What do we have here? Oh, here's a reply. Look at this. This is how far it's going. Those people, because someone says, hey, listen, I know you guys don't like Mel Gibson, but think about all the other people, the hundreds of people that are likely involved in making this movie and how they might be affected by people trying to get it canceled. Those people willingly sign on to a project that stars a raging anti-Semite. There's no need to help their work on such a project. And there are enough movies that are not normalizing this that could be supported instead. People working on those deserve the support more. Mel Gibson should be in prison. He should never be forced on anyone again. We all work with predators every day and go on as if it's not happening when it's happening to everyone except the predators. I'm so sick of this and the same shitty people over and over say no for fuck's sake. Like, this is just all you see when you search Mel Gibson's name on Twitter right now. All over an announcement that's not even about him. Like, he was cast in this quite some time ago in Boys of Summer. But because they brought on a couple other people and his name was somewhere in the article, now they've gone to the director, they've ratioed the director. Nearly every single response here is people that are just so mad that Mel Gibson is getting one single job. I want to go down to maybe the last paragraph because, again, I wrote it 2 years ago, well, maybe a year and a half or something, but it still holds true. The question that the outrage raised for me was simple. Is there ever enough a person can do? Is there any possible path to atonement for Mel Gibson or anyone who makes a similar mistake? It seems to me that there is never enough. There's no apology, no groveling that could ever allow him to simply exist and do his job. It seems like a few mistakes over 10 years ago are enough to unperson him for life. There's no doubt that Mel Gibson made mistakes and he's acknowledged all of them. Whether people believe he has changed or that he's always been that way is up to each individual. But the cancel culture mob doesn't care if you change or not. They will continue to pile on at every opportunity, even 16 years later. If that's the standard, why would anyone even try? And that's the point. Why would you ever try to atone? Why would you try to apologize? Why would you try to do anything if this is a way that these freaks will react over and over and over again? I like Mel Gibson movies. I think he's an incredible director and an amazing actor. And is he fucked up? Yeah. And I think he did his best to atone for those mistakes that he's made. And he also was ostracized from Hollywood for years. So the fact that he's back and that a couple of these people cannot let it go or will not let it go, refuse to let it go until this man is dead and buried, I don't care. I hope Mel Gibson continues to make great movies. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.